The following is a presentation of MightyOxTrading. Hello everybody and welcome to MightyOxTrading. In today's video, we are going to go over the top 10 most traded futures contracts in the year 2023. When we're trading, we're always looking for something that has volume. We always want to, have liquidity, easy to get in, easy to get out, no slippage. So, which contracts are best for that? So we'll start. Before we get started with the top 10, I just want to say there are no agriculture futures in the top 10. They didn't even come close. So any lead hog fans out there, sorry. No can do there. Also, no currency futures. No euro, no yen, none of those. The only one that even came close was the euro, with about 42 million contracts traded. They were in the top 15. So without further ado, you can see what number 10 is. No surprise, because I didn't feel like doing a splash screen. Number 10 is the Russell with 52 million contracts traded. Here's its yearly candle, 52.751 to be exact. Slightly down from the previous year by about 3 million contracts. This surprised me that Russell was number 10, first of all, because you find very few people trading the Russell. But the bigger surprise to me was that it had a lot more contracts traded than the Dow. The Dow came in at only 40 million and it was barely in the top 15. The Russell at 52 million at 12 more contracts traded. So that was number 10. Number 9 is, there we go, the Ultra Bond. There we go, CFT's favorite asset, the Ultra Bond. And you can see the Ultra Bond had about 67 million contracts traded. And it did all that and moved a total of 23 ticks the entire year. Now, of course, it did a lot more than that, but it only finished 23 ticks from where it started after a huge down year the year before. Now, much to CFT's happiness, the volume did go up significantly from the prior year, 51 million to 67 million, a jump of 16 million contracts. And this is not the only treasury on this list, which is a surprise to me as well. So let's see here. Next one is CL. Crude oil. This one surprised me that it was so low. It's 84 million contracts traded. You can see here. This was its yearly candle, 84.83 million. It finished about 8 points below where it started. I was looking at this. You can see crude's been traded for quite a while, since way back in 1983. These are all yearly candles. And I wonder what caused the drop in crude volume. If we go back here, look at this. 99 million contracts traded, 148 contracts, 148 million contracts traded, 166, 166, 165. This was the COVID year, the year it went negative. And that's where it's really started dropping down to 125, 111. 86, and now 84. It keeps dropping in volume. It's about half of what it was. I wonder it's caused that big drop in volume over the last 9 years. So that's our number 8. Number 7 is, sorry, I'm hitting two different things here. This one's another treasury, ZB, the T-bond futures. And that one also hardly moved at all if you consider start to end. 102 million contracts traded. A lot of liquidity in these currency futures. I'm sorry, not currency. Yeah, I said currency. Treasury futures. CFT would kill me that I say currency. Treasury futures. 102 million. This is also, treasuries are getting more popular. Up about 89 to 102. 13 million contracts more traded last year than the year before. CFT is starting a movement, as you can see. Next up, we have the NQ. If I can, there we go. 159 million contracts traded. I admit, I was surprised that this came in number 6. I thought this would be higher. I knew it wasn't going to be, like number 1, but I thought it would be higher. 159 million contracts traded. It actually lost about 10 million contracts in volume from the previous year. So it seems like, as COVID ended, people really got into things in COVID year. You can see we jumped from 111 to 140, came down to 134, back up to 169 million in 2022, but starting to wane again. We'll have to see how that ends in 2024. But you can see the NQ had a very good year, going up 6,000 points after having a really bad year the previous year. Next up, we have the MES. So micros very popular. 238 million in volume on the micros. MES, sorry, going up 959 points last year. You see, the micros only started trading here in 2019. This is why Topstep has trouble with their micros, because all their infrastructure didn't have micros when it started. Micros were gaining in popularity, but they lost huge from year to year. 334 million in 2022 down to 238 million. So they lost almost 100 million volume in a year. So maybe CFT really is starting a movement now against the micros. Next up, we have the MNQ. So there we go again, MNQ. We already see NQ, so MNQ actually have more volume, 264 million versus that 159 million, over 100 million more contracts. But did they also drop? Yeah, they did also. They also dropped. I didn't even look at that. They dropped by about 80 million contracts from the previous year. They have been also going up every year until now. So we already talked about NQ and MNQ and how much it rose. So no more to see here. Next up is another Treasury, the ZF. And if you don't know what the ZF is, well, most people probably don't. It's the 5-year T-note futures. And it came in at 330.52 million contracts traded. Also, it moved less than a point. It's not a point. Yeah, it's only just 27 ticks. After you see 2 huge down years, and you see it continued and then bounced. Nice bounce. It's also going up in volume, 239 million the previous year. I'm sorry, wrong. I apologize. Yeah, well, no, I'm right. 239 there, 283 there, and then 330 last year, continuing to get more and more popular. And you notice that is our third treasury on our list. We only have two to go. Can you guess what number 1 is? I'll give you a moment. I bet you're going to guess wrong, because I bet you guessed what our number 2 is. And that is the ES. ES at 422.441 million contracts traded came in at number 2. I'll be honest, when I started doing this research, when I started planning this video, I totally expect ES to be the number 1. And I was wrong. And I bet you a lot of you were as well. Now, ES also dropped in volume from the previous year. About 55 million contracts. It was 475 the previous year. And it was 468 the COVID year, dropped down to 378, back up to 475, now back down to 422. And just to see how this year ends, we'll have to compare in a year. So, now, any guesses with anything that's left? By the way, and I was totally shocked, so I'll give you a preview that it's not gold either. GC did not make this list either, and that surprised me. The number one overall futures traded, most futures traded contract, or whatever it is I'm trying to say, is the ZN, the 10-year note. I was shocked that the ZN was the most traded futures contract last year of the CME futures. I didn't check any other futures. I looked at some ICEs just to make sure. CME, I believe, is the most traded futures. I don't know if there's other ones, but 436.801 million contracts traded on the 10-year T-note. And you can see it moved a total of 19 ticks. Now, of course, it moved a lot more, like I said. But yeah, this was the most liquid futures contract. It went up by, let's see, 412 to 430. That's easy math. About 24 million from the prior year. You can see the trend continues to be up, except for the 2019 had a little bit more, but yeah, definitely Treasuries. They rule this list. 4 Treasuries on this list: ZN, ZF, ZB, and UB. We had 2 micros on the list, 3 of the indices, and crude oil. No gold, no currencies, no agriculture. So that's the list. I hope you enjoyed this. A little bit different. No prop firm ads, no anything else. Just some interesting knowledge. Now, if you're interested in trading futures, you just got to found this video. There are some prop firms. You don't want to trade with your own money? Trade with the prop firm's money. There are some prop firms down in the video description below. You can check those out. And as always, follow me on Twitter, on Instagram. Of course, join me for my live streams every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and Monday and Wednesday evenings from about 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Discord, a lot of good things going on there. Great community. Join us there. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give a like, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.